you work in an environment where you go to an office party?
I do.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen at an office party?
The weirdest thing, I've seen some pretty drunk people at an office party.
Yeah, so me too. If you've ever been to the better office party, you know that's the starting place. Ladies, can you help me out? Quick. I know, even better. Come on, I want to ask you what you saw at the holiday party that shocked you. Something embarrassing. You've seen nothing? You see how they're trying to protect their jobs? Well, let me ask you this. Do you work in a place that has like a holiday Christmas party?
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen at a holiday office party?
I don't think I'm at liberty to say.
A non-disclosure agreement. Okay. I'm trying to find out what the strangest thing anybody's ever seen at an office party, an office holiday party is.
Oh, I have no idea.
No? No? I think he was involved in it, and that's why he can't talk about it. Sir, do you have time to answer a quick question? We're asking people questions about the holidays.
Okay.
Well, have you ever been to like one of those holiday office parties that they have at businesses sometimes?
Back in the days, yeah.
Back in the days, what was the weirdest thing you ever saw at a holiday office party?
Actually, we never saw like anything weird. Like, you know, nothing out of the ordinary.
Nothing you'd admit to?
No, just never saw anything weird.
Never saw it. You never saw like a guy with a animal hat on? It was long. What is your hat? I love this.
Wolf hat.
The wolf hat?
Yeah.
I like it. Wolf hat! No party? Oh, I don't want to work there.
Well, from the spiked eggnog to freaky Secret Santa
Those
gifts.
are the best kind.
Yeah, exactly. All sorts of strange things happen at the office during the holiday season.
That's right. Workplace expert and author of The U Plan, Michael Woodward, a.k.a. DrWoody, is here to help us avoid some of those holiday office mishaps. This is good.
Freaky gifts, though. Whose office is that? Who's sending out freaky gifts?
You know, this time of year, the holiday season can bring both, I think, cheer and challenge to the workplace.
Right.
And so we want to talk a little bit about some of those challenges you might want to avoid, whether it's the office party or just being in the office in general during this time of year.
So you say have something called the winter office, what is it?
The Winter
office?
Wonder Cube.
Wonder Cube.
Yes, be wary of the Winter Wonder Cube.
What's that?
So when you come into the office and you see, you know, a lot of corporate America is very cube land, so cubes everywhere. Sometimes people like to really decorate their cube and express themselves in their holiday cheer.
Right.
Just don't overdo it. Like, for example, you don't want to have that motion-censored Santa Claus there that every time you walk by is, ho, ho, ho. That could drive people a little crazy, so you don't want to be too over the top. I'm all for decorating that.
Yeah. Some people feel, I guess they feel like they can't decorate at home. Maybe they decorate at the office or something.
I guess,
you know?
but I like what Dr. Woody's saying, which is essentially, look, decorate for yourself, but as soon as your decorations start inhibiting other people's space, they're inappropriate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we got that one.
All right. Well, what about the, we do a little bit of the Secret Santa thing here. It's not totally secret, but we have a price limit that we set, and people buy each other things. But if you have a Secret Santa, you said no freaky Secret Santa gifts, like what?
Like I said,
what's across the line?
Anything that could be like adult theme, for example. So that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer underwear or something like that. You probably don't want to have that in the Secret Santa. Again, keep it clean and easy, simple. It's just a gesture, not
so you got to return half your gift.
So all the products left behind by the Trojans Vibrations people, I should not be giving a Secret Santa gift.
We got a lot of heat from that
Note to self. Note to self.
Yeah, we don't want to be hearing from HR on this. So.
Okay, so the eggnog, we know it's there at the office. Some people want to spike it.
Of course, I'm all for spiking the eggnog.
At the office.
Yes, with a little bit of rum, but you got to make sure you give people fair warning. The last thing you want is for the intern to dive into the eggnog and make the wrong impression on the boss. I mean, they'll get on their radar quickly, but they may not be aware of it. So at least let people know how much spiking you're doing.
Yeah, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but there's some people that have medical issues that cannot have alcohol.
They can't have alcohol.
Don't do that.
Well, don't just assume for people, for sure. One other thing you said that was really interesting is don't share your calories. Yeah, what does that mean? What do people, what do you mean by that?
It's funny, when I did the article on this, that one always gets the most response. And what I mean by that is, so you're going to get some kind of gift. Usually it could be from clients, coworkers, colleagues, or vendors, whatever, of candy or different types of fruitcake or whatever. So a lot of times what people like to do is bring them and leave them in the office break room to share with everybody. And just you have to ask yourself, are they really sharing in an altruistic way, or are they just trying to share their calories and help everyone grow along with them? So just be wary of it. Don't be diving in too much into the break room food. So
see, I always call it a drop and go. Because I always have a lot of extra desserts, a lot of extra candy, and so what I do, because I know I'll eat it, I'll drop it in the break room and I go. And then everybody else comes back and eats it, but I never think about it.
You're sharing your calories.
Yes,
look what you're doing.
Yes.
I have the opposite problem. I'm the guy that goes in there and takes one of the cookies, and then later I realize nobody saw me take that cookie, so I could go take another one, and it could look like my first cookie. And then like the 5th time I'm in there, you walk in, I'm like, oh, I was just having one cookie. But it's,
you can tell. Yeah, so you got to be careful about all that stuff. Then what about the? There's always the office parties, and especially in the evening, and someone brings a guest, and you assume because they're you've never seen them bring a guest before, opposite sex. Hey, is that your wife? Is that your husband? It's awkward though, especially if the person doesn't tell you who they are right off the bat.
Right, I like to call this appointing yourself as Parson Brown and then marrying them on the spot, right? You don't want to do that. That's unfair to people because sometimes someone may bring a friend, and I've been through this when I was single. You bring someone of the opposite sex and all of a sudden there's an assumption that you're dating and then they start, you know, reacting to you that way. So just be sensitive and pay attention and maybe ask.
But also, if you bring someone to the party, I think that you should be the first one to say, this is my friend.
Preemptive
blah, blah, blah.
Be very clear and let them know.
Preemptive
Otherwise, it can get very awkward.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's key. Whenever I'm with someone, my wife and I have that rule at parties where if we walk up to some people and I have not introduced you to them by name in the first 30 seconds, I cannot remember their name. And it is your turn to go, he's so rude. Yeah, that's got to be it.
That's a really good rule because I use the same rule because that happens to me all the time.
I think every couple has some version of that, don't they?
Right. Now we know. Now we know. Go out with these two. All right. Thanks so much, Dr. Woody.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
That's great.